Hello, I'm Ingmar, and this is the first Osmo Pocket underwater housing that I could find anyway. It's not the DJI one, we're still waiting on that one. I think there were some pictures online a long while ago, and we're still waiting. But this one's online, it's 99 RMB, that is like cheap, it's very cheap, and actually this thing is cheap. It's all made of polycarbonate. So it comes in this wonderful box. Not much on there. There's no actual brand. They call themselves TechFaction. And this is the housing. So I've used this extensively already, so there's a few minor scratches on it. It has the two buttons. I'll put the Osmo Pocket in it in a second so you can see. You have two GoPro mounts, one on the bottom, one here. So the Osmo Pocket slides into there. You have to remove the phone connector, otherwise it doesn't fit. And then basically, we slide the Osmo Pocket in there. And there we go. And we're ready to go. It's a little bit hard to push those buttons. I'm going to try and recenter, reverse the, there we go, orientation so that you can see something. And maybe I'll film myself, hello. And then I turn it around and you can see my camera. Can you see my camera? And you can see outside that beautiful building here. A beautiful building, very good maintenance condition. And what I want to show you is the distortion you're getting from the polycarbonate. So basically, while you're filming outside of the water, you're going to have a lot of distortion from this accessory. So one of the problems with the Osmo Pocket in any case will be that you can't adjust the settings. The settings are on the display. You only have access to gimbal reset. I think you can take photos. And you can change the orientation, of course. So, for example, if you're diving, you probably want to use it as a flashlight mode. So, I think I have it in tilt lock, so it does it by itself right now. But if you want to adjust that, that's possible. And then you have record and stop record. That's all you have. The second problem I found with this one is that the Osmo Pocket is very hard to remove. And I'm not joking. I mean, I usually help myself with a paper tissue to get a little bit more grip on the device. And then pull, there we go. So that's a little bit of a pain. I imagine myself on a dive boat with shriveled, dried fingers. I don't think I would be able to pull the Osmo Pocket out of it. Now, however, when I used it the last time, my hands were so sweaty that I got some moisture into onto the Osmo Pocket actually, even if I didn't want to do that. And removing the Osmo Pocket from the housing was much easier than when it was completely dry, so maybe just sweat on it. So the seal is flat, gasket type. I would have preferred an O-ring, or maybe even two O-rings. After all, the Osmo Pocket is not that cheap. So maybe before you take this diving, maybe just fill it up halfway with rice or something and see how deep it lasts before you put the Osmo Pocket into it. The manufacturer announces 20 meters, but, you know, who knows? I did test it on a couple of occasions. Actually, the first test didn't work out so well. Not that it leaked or anything, but the minimal focus distance of the Osmo Pocket was such that, or is such that it couldn't focus on the fish that we were feeding with my kids. The fish were too close to the camera and they were actually pounding into it. So on the second shoot, I inserted a wide-angle lens. That's the Ulanzi wide-angle lens, and with the wide-angle lens, the Osmo Pocket was able to focus underwater on most fish. However, the space inside here is a little bit too small, so in the horizontal position it works. So basically, I turned on the Osmo Pocket before I closed the housing, put the Osmo Pocket into, I think it was tilt lock, so that it would look forward. And then I put on the lens and then I screwed on the housing. But as soon as you go like this, the gimbal will get stuck with the lens on it. So that's a shame. I wish this was like just maybe 1 centimeter bigger. It floats anyway, so it doesn't make a big difference if you're going diving. So, but yeah, so with the wide angle lens, I got great results. And I hope that future cases, whatever they are, will have this, the extra space for a lens, yeah? This review was a little delayed because we had horrible weather the last 2 weeks here in Southeast China. We actually had a water hose or a mini tornado on the sea. Here's some social media footage that I stole from Chinese social media. And that actually happened while I was doing the second shot, where the fish are more or less in focus. So do I recommend this? I mean, it's cheap. It does what it says it should do. The optical quality is not great, especially if you're filming outside of the water. You will see things warping because the polycarbonate is not optical grade. Sorry. But if it's just to protect your Osmo Pocket on the beach while you're jumping into the waves and to film your kids without getting the Osmo Pocket wet, I guess it's okay, considering the low price of it. But for anything more serious, I would wait for a next solution, especially one where you can put a lens on top, probably the wide-angle lens or even a fisheye lens, who knows what you're trying to do. Remember that on the water you have a 30% magnification, so you need the wide-angle lens anyway, most probably with the 20mm equivalent lens that's on the Osmo Pocket. So that's all I have to say about this underwater housing. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please press like if you did, and I'll see you in the next one.